I'm talking about engineering luck today, and my goal really is to share with you this whole concept, whether we can engineer luck or not. Luck is an elusive concept. We've been studying it for centuries. In fact, the Hadron Collider in Switzerland is doing studies upon serendipity at the quantum level. And my goal really is to share with you some of the findings that I have come across in the book that I've written. So to start with, how many of you, let's have a show of hands, how many of you actually believe that you can engineer your luck? Okay, almost 50% of you, which is great, and I'm glad to see that. 50% of you are like me. I was one of you thinking, there's no way you could engineer your luck. But over time, I have also changed. I have actually started believing that you probably could, with certain set of activities coming together, you can actually really have an effect and change your luck. So with that, I started to study this whole concept and try to understand what is it about luck that really makes a difference. It's been 17 years since I have started working on this, and I've read and studied hundreds of different achievers. I've looked at psychology, I've studied metaphysics and quantum mechanics, and every time I look at it, I come across and I've started to see a pattern of certain activities, certain concepts that come together, which may lead to engineering your luck. It's work in progress. I don't say that I've actually figured it out all, but I've started to test it. And today I'd like to share an example with you with one of the students over here at Carnegie Mellon University. A couple of weeks ago, I started working with him on it. The idea, basically, that it is a pattern. It's a sequence of concepts. It's a sequence of connected ideas that come together. And why is it important for us to understand this concept? Well, wouldn't it be nice if we could shift the odds in our favor? And I'm not talking about trying to figure out the lotto numbers. I'm trying to talk about opportunities that could open doors for you. Being at the right place at the right time. For sometimes we just want that opportunity to come our way. Two brothers from one family, same background. When you normalize all the factors like education, behavior, attitude, you find that the one difference is how much opportunity one got more than the other. One turns out to be the US president, the other turns out to be a person who struggles through life. So when you study these elements, you start to say, is there a pattern to it? Is there any concept that can come together? And I started to see, and I had to go across many cultures to figure out how to define it, because there wasn't a word in English that could explain it. So I chose a word from Persian and Arabic. And the word is called Junoon, J-U-N-O-O-N. It's talked about in those cultures. There are music and stories written about it, poetry. And it's actually, at the core, it's a primordial psyche that we all have. It's a drive that we all have inside us. But over time, structure, organization, education, culture, society suppresses it or beats it out of us. And those few of us in here who have actually experienced Junoon have been deemed by their friends and family as lucky people. Somehow they were able to go there. And that is why it is such an important facet and such an important aspect of engineering luck. Now, there are 5 major areas of Junoon. And I'm not going to bore you with each one of them and go into the details of them. But what I'd like to do today is to share with you an example of a student that came up to my class. His name is Michael Chang. I'm not even sure he's here today. But he came to me after the class, because I was talking about this in one of my classes, about this whole philosophy, and I'm just passionate about this area. And he said to me, Professor Razi, you talk about engineering luck. I'm an economics major. I'm graduating in May after 4 years of college. I have been applying all over the country. I haven't been receiving any opportunities for even a phone interview. Now, if your engineering luck is so good, and you believe in opportunities opening doors for us, then I'll be a candidate. I am so desperate now. And I said, oh God. What am I going to do? Now, I've seen it work, and I have helped people get there. But this is real life. This is a student who's, 3 weeks ago I just met him. And in May he's graduating. So we said, okay, let's go ahead and understand what you're trying to accomplish. He said, well, let me just multiply this challenge a little bit. Let me explain what I really want to do. I want to work in a company called Second Market, which is one of the hottest companies in the financial industry these days. And he loves working over there. He wants to work there. So not only does he have a problem where, he doesn't have an interview set up with them, he wants to work in one of the hottest companies in the space. I said, okay, sounds good. He said, well, I'm not done yet. I said, all right. He said, the job that I'm applying for, which is fixed income investment trading, has 400 applicants already. So now I'm looking at it and says, wow, this whole philosophy, I was just, trying to pass my rest of the 10 minutes of my class to explain them about Junoon and this whole concept of engineering luck. And I said, all right. And I said, okay, for the last 17 years, I've been studying this phenomena and really applying it in many ways in my own personal life and helping my family and my friends apply this concept. Let's see if it really stands the test of Michael Chang. Does it really work? So we got on, both of us started to have the process. So first thing that happens when you get into a state of Junoon, an inspiration happens in your mind. A clarity moment occurs. And that is as if the universe speaks to you. In his case, he realized that he wanted to work in one of the top companies in the United States and wanted a job where 400 people were applying. And I understood that. I said, okay. From there, a deep level of focus came into his daily life, where every aspect of the company, every morsel of information that we were looking and reading, the organization, the structure of the company, the management team, who they are, where they are, what they do, why they do, that was the ultimate focus of Michael Chang for the last couple of weeks. And from there, we went into this mode of preparation as if we were going to run for a marathon, and there is no marathon. But we are preparing as if we are going to run for a marathon. And we were preparing, and what did we prepare? We started preparing a strategy document. We said, you know what? There is no appointment, there is no interview discussion. Well, why not? Let's try to make a strategy document about this company and see if this company is doing well, and where are the holes, where are the gaps, what are the opportunities of this company? And he starts to produce it. The energy level, I can tell you, I got into his Junoon too. Both of us are moving fast and talking with each other on the cell phones, Saturdays, Sundays, and as if we are already there. And then campaigning, trying to figure out who can help us, where can we go, who can we talk to get this person an opportunity. And that's when that's where Junoon, the whole concept starts to walk together. And the opportunities come in. Last week, or a week before that, he's walking down Posner Hall. And he comes across an 8x11 poster on a big poster wall. He's probably walked in that hall 20 times during the semester. The interesting thing was, he went up to that poster that very day, and he started reading it. And he looked at it, and he picked up the phone and called me. He says, Professor Razi, you will not believe how lucky we are. I said, really? I'm surprised. I'm sitting in my 113 Industries office. I'm just like, trying to figure out other things. And I said, well, what happened, Michael? He said, well, the CEO of Second Market is coming to Carnegie Mellon University tomorrow evening. His name is Barry Silbert, and he's going to be here tomorrow evening. I said, Michael, you know what you got to do? He said, absolutely. I'm going to print this strategy document. I'm going to go up to him and talk to him. I said, exactly. So the next day, he gets up front, sits right up the front row, and Barry goes ahead and talks about his whole company, what the company's doing, and everything. And then when it's done, when the presentation is finished, Michael then walks up to Barry and says, hi, I'm Michael Chang. Barry says, yeah, so? He says, I am very interested in your company. So, Barry probably hears about that from everybody where he goes and speaks. He says, but I have developed a strategy document for you guys that talks about the areas of growth that you can have, the holes, the competition, the issues. Now, Barry steps back, and Barry says, that's interesting. He's had many people walk up to him and say to him that I would like a job, but nobody actually came up to him and said, here's a strategy document for your organization. Barry looks at it and says, you know what, Michael, I'm going to read this on my plane ride back to New York. And then I'm going to decide if it's good, I'm going to share it with the management team. Now, one of the things we did, Michael and I did, was, Michael, you've got to just make it a single document. These guys are busy. You can't make it 3 pages long. So we made it into a single document. What was interesting, we didn't hear anything about it. So Michael comes back, he says, Razi, this Junoon thing, I'm not sure if it's working. I said, I don't know myself either, but it should, it's supposed to. And so we said, okay. So, Monday passes, Tuesday passes, and on Wednesday, his cell phone rings, and a call comes in. It's the vice president of trading. He says, Michael, hi, this is so-and-so. Are you interested in joining our company? Michael says, what? I said, all right. And he says, well, your strategy document was shared with everybody over here, especially the management team. They think you have a good candidate. We'd like to start the process. So 3 weeks ago, where Michael stood, nobody was asking him, nobody was interviewing him. Economics major, big stress level, high stress level, graduating in May, doesn't know what's going to happen. From there, he started to engineer his luck. So the idea here is understand the concept of Junoon. It's powerful. It works. It will help you open up opportunities. It will help you engineer your luck. Among you over here, I'm sure there's the next Facebook, next Amazon, the person who might eradicate hunger, disease, pure water in Africa and third world countries. This is where it's not us, it's not the speakers who have the answers. It's over here where you guys have the next generation and the answers to change the world. But the idea here is you've got to open up, opportunities have to open up for you so that you can apply yourself. And to be able to do that, get into the state of Junoon, because your life is going to change. And by being here today, you've already started engineering your luck. So thank you very much for your time today. Thank you.